No rain in the Sioux City Metro right now. Well, we are tracking some thunderstorms across Siouxland, so you may want to grab the umbrella just in case.
We are back with TJ and a beautiful Monday to start off the work week, but the 90s are going to be back soon.
I have a pun for a National Cheese Day.
Ooh.
It's been a Gouda.
Gouda.
A Gouda day, right? Is that good? That might be kind of terrible. That might be a shame on me.
I give you an A+.
You give me
for
A+.
that.
Okay, good. Jen, it's been pretty rough out here. Thank you. It's been a wintry day all across the KTIV viewing area, and as you can probably hear, the winds are howling, barely seeing across the river into Sioux City right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Pierce as well as western Wayne counties. You know, if you remember yesterday and we're tuning in, I brought out a shovel. Now I'm bringing out the heavy artillery. It's the snow blower. You may want to have this ready to go this morning. The main threats with this cell do include the 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as hail, possibly as high as that $half size. This is our velocity scope. You see that a couplet there of what we call inbound velocity and outbound velocity there with the red and the green shading there. That usually indicates the area of rotation. A very little shift in this track will make a huge difference on who sees rain, who sees snow, and who sees very heavy snow. I think due to the mild weather, you'll probably want to go out and get yourself one of these because it's going to be nice. Some big changes, though, are taking shape, and that's why you'll want this. We're going to be seeing some snow taking back over the KTIV viewing area. It is just about 7:58 on a wintry Saturday morning in Siouxland. I'm meteorologist TJ Springer tracking a major spring blizzard for us here with snow continuing to work into the area. When you have thunderstorm complexes like these, we have what we call an outflow boundary. That means rushing air down through a storm, splatting onto the ground, really almost like if you have a water balloon. Where is that water going to go? Out. And that's why we have northwesterly winds. And how long does the warmth stick around? And when do the rain chances increase yet again? I'll have those details for us in around 5 minutes. Keep it here on News 4 at noon. There we go. One reason why the heat and the humidity is building in. We have these winds out of the south-southwest right now at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, which is yanking in that warmer air from the south. And dew points are a little bit higher than what they were yesterday.
Jen and I are watching some jet skiers on West Okoboji there. It's a great day to be outside on the water because it's the heat's cranking back up.
Picture perfect out. Yeah, lots of heat and humidity for our Tuesday. So maybe get up to the lake if you can, or maybe hop in a pool. Something wet. It'll be great. Heavier thunderstorms are continuing to overspread western Siouxland, and we are tracking a severe storm right now. This is Storm Track 4. We have a severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for Clay, Dixon, Union, as well as Plymouth counties until 8 o'clock this morning. Moms love it.
They're worth it, too.
they most definitely are.
The least we can do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We do have some showers, but how is our Mother's Day forecast looking? We could be dealing with a few sprinkles this weekend. And as Ron mentioned, that's what constitutes a blizzard, having 35-mile-per-hour winds or greater for over 3 hours. And that's been a huge factor of the system. Very low visibility, near whiteouts, if not whiteout conditions, all across the region. And that will continue here as we step through the evening. Our chief photographer, and myself, as we were heading over to South Sioux, did encounter some pretty slick roadways, a lot of snow-covered roadways. Not complete coverage, but snow-covered nonetheless. So my advice is if you are heading out this evening, travel cautiously. But I think if you take it slow, you'll be able to get where you're going A-OK. Jen? Heavier thunderstorms are continuing to overspread western Siouxland, and we are tracking a severe storm right now. This is Storm Track 4. We have a severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for Clay, Dixon, Union, as well as Plymouth counties until 8 o'clock this morning. And there's the cell right there. I did want to zoom in and give you a better glance at that cell. It's moving on to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. It was located near Newcastle, or about 8 miles south and east of Vermilion, South Dakota. Right now, the main hazards are going to be the heavy rainfall, obviously, but the $quarter to $half size hail potentially. I did want to track this a little bit and try to put a little cone on it, a storm cone, so we can see exactly where it is heading as I hit on moving on to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour or so. And we could have some pretty gusty winds potentially as well. So here's some impacts. Akron around 8 o'clock, 8:07 in Rural and Brunsville at about 8:21. Again, we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Clay, Dixon, Union, as well as Plymouth County until 8 o'clock. All of us watching Hurricane Irma as she is barreling toward the Sunshine State, now in between the Bahamas and Cuba. Hurricane warnings in effect for the southern tips of Florida, southern regions of Florida, the Bahamas, as well as portions of Cuba. Still a massive Category 4 storm. Weakened just a bit, but still we have warm waters that Irma's moving over, and that could give us maybe a chance of some re-strengthening. But we have had what we call wind shear, which is the difference of winds as you go up into the atmosphere in speed and direction, and that has weakened her just a little bit. But you notice it gets that northerly turn going. Hurricane watch is now extending into the northern and eastern parts of Florida for places like Orlando, Port Canaveral. Winds are sustained right now at 150 miles per hour as she is moving at about 14 miles per hour to the west-northwest. Now, winds look to really increase as we step into the day on Saturday night, getting that hurricane force gusts, and gusts you see potentially toward 200 miles per hour as we step through the day on Sunday. So a very tense situation for many in Florida, watching out for still widespread devastation possibly for the southern tips in places like the Keys near Miami. So we're watching this very closely, and we'll continue to do so throughout the coming days. Now, it's a mild morning, so enjoy it while we have it, because we will quickly be seeing the winter weather return here across Siouxland throughout the next 24 hours. 40 degrees in Spencer, saw some pretty heavier showers and storms rumble through your area earlier on this morning. Those are now working off toward the north, right along the Iowa-Minnesota border right now. And in Sioux City, we've been rather dry. I saw a couple of raindrops on my car as I went into work this morning, but most of it has been around us and to our north as this boundary has been set up through Siouxland and through the region, really. Taking a peek outside your door, we have 46 degrees. It feels like 39, though, when you factor in those northeasterly winds. Breezy at over 15 miles per hour. And there are the showers and storms that we have been seeing this morning. This cell just to the north and west of Yankton County sparked up a severe thunderstorm warning. Could have some small hail near quarter size in that cell. Snow off to the north and west of that. On the flip side of the viewing area, off toward Osceola and Dickinson County and Emmett County, you can see some showers and storms pushing off toward the north and east as well. So we'll see more develop later on this afternoon as this potent cold front continues to progress on towards Siouxland, and a very strong winter storm for this time of the year. Current winds with this system are out of the northeast right now at 20 to 30 miles per hour, rather blustery, which will eventually pull in that colder, wintry air. But right now, it's still fairly mild with temperatures sitting in the 40s, even 50s heading southward towards Acoma. A little cooler maybe with some of that rain-cooled air in Yankton at 39 right now. It's 42 in O'Neill, a little cooler off toward our north and east where it's 36 in Esterboro, 40s, upper 40s in Carroll. Highs today not going to climb all that much, though. We're going to be into the 40s and 50s in Tacoma, but mainly 40s across the rest of the area. 41 in Yankton, rising into the middle 40s in Norfolk, only 42 degrees in Orange City, and lower 40s in Spencer as well. So some of these highs actually may have been hit at midnight earlier on this morning. So these afternoon highs might even be a little bit cooler than what we were earlier on this morning. Now, as we zoom out across the upper Midwest, you can see there's our system right now situated across the Dakotas and the Panhandle of Nebraska, seeing some snow already near Rapid City and Pierre, and all of this has to move its way onto the east and really will strengthen and become even stronger as it heads toward our neck of the woods, and we'll see some very heavy precipitation throughout the latter half of our Friday and into our Saturday. Future track shows there's showers and storms. I think the heavier moisture begins to work in later on this evening, seeing some of those heavier storms near Orange City, even in the Sioux City metro by the evening commute. Snow already being seen across far northwestern Holt County, and we'll continue to see that rain snow line creep on toward the east. Heavy snow by 1 o'clock this morning in O'Neill, Yankton, Wayne, seeing that, and all of that continues through our Saturday morning. A heavy wind-driven wet snow, and we'll continue to see that through much of our Saturday before it begins to taper off in the wee hours of our Sunday morning. So we have a fairly long-lived event. Not only do we have the snow to talk about, but again, the strong storms. And we do have a slight risk across far southeastern Siouxland and places like Denison, Sac City, Rockwell City, Ida Grove. There could be some heavy rain, some small hail, maybe even a few weak tornadoes possible. That is likely more than enhanced risk down there. You can see that brown shaded area with that marginal risk creeping down the I-29 corridor, including us in Sioux City. So we have that. Could again see the hail, the heavy downpours, and the gusts, the wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. But on the flip side, we have the snow to talk about. 8 to 12 inches possible across far northwest Siouxland. 4 to 8 looking like a good bet in Sioux City, in the heart of Siouxland, with lesser amounts, 2 to 4 likely in far southeastern Siouxland. That is why we do have the blizzard warnings in effect. Wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, with winter storm watches still being issued in the blue shaded counties there. We do begin to improve some Sunday, more sunshine, 30s, but watching out for another chance of a mixed Tuesday into our Wednesday.